rundown. Not bad. A pair of Vans, blue. A little sporty, a little casual. All right. Is this a U-turn? I think this is a U-turn. So I was just in DSW. For anybody that knows DSW, it's a shoe store. It's like an outlet shoe store. I wanted to get a pair of these Nike Kill Shots, which have been like flooded at me on Instagram, and I like them. I want to get them. So I was looking, and it looked like DSW had them, and I was passing here, so I'm like, all right, let me stop it. So I go in. Of course, they have the shoe. Of course, they don't have my size, and that's fine. And I was like, you know what? I also want to get a pair of Vans. I have never had a pair of Vans. I want to get a pair of Vans, and they had a cool blue pair, which I just showed you. So I picked those up. All right. Point of this is, I don't know if I'm a curmudgeon more than the average person, but I go up to the register to pay, and the woman says, very nice, but she says, can you put in your telephone number or your email address to receive your points? And I said, no, thank you. And I guess that like took her back, and she was like, well, we need your telephone number to apply the points. And I was like, I would rather not give that. And she goes, okay, well, we need that to pull up your account. And I'm like, I don't want to have an account. I don't think I have one here, and I don't want one. And she goes, yeah, but you get 15% off. And I was like, no, that's fine. I'd rather just pay for the shoes. And she like looked at me like I had four heads. And I'm just staring at her like, can you just ring me up? Like, what are we doing here? And she said it again. This is like 5 times. And she was like, you sure? She said, you can use your wife's account or a family member's account just to get the points. And I was like, I don't want to. And she says, okay. And she was actually offended. I could see in her face she was offended. And she shut down, and she rings it up. And then she goes to ring it up for me. It was like $74, and she's like, okay, that'll be $74.99. She said it again. She goes, are you sure you don't want to do it? It's 15% off. And I said 50, and she goes, no, 15. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to give out my information. I'm like, it's just spam. I'd rather not give out my information. She goes, well, it's not just spam. And I'm like, I don't want to give it out. And she goes, okay, and charge me. And like, am I alone? Am I alone in this? I mean, I get it. 15% off, fine. If we're buying a lawnmower for $600, fine. But for me to save 15% on $70 to then have my information leaked out, and then to immediately start getting emails to which I have to then start unsubscribing to, and then my phone number is out there, and I have no idea what they're doing with that. It's just not worth it. I'm such a curmudgeon these days that like I have a unsubscribe folder, and every day I'm just dragging all of these emails into that folder. And then once a week I have a task where I sit with my laptop with a show on, and I go one by one into those emails, and I unsubscribe. And it's just, and there's like 80 a week, and I'm just unsubscribing. And I've noticed a difference. It's dropping down. But like, I've also noticed that like, no matter what you do, you don't solve the problem. You just get a handle on the problem. Because if I go to a store and I pay for something and I use Square, where they turn it around, you put your tip in, whatever, like a coffee shop, whatever, and they use Square, you are selling your rights to Square every time you do that. Every time you do this, it automatically inputs your profile onto that account. So if I go to XYZ coffee shop and I buy one coffee for $4, I will start getting emails from that coffee shop. And I did nothing besides pay for it, and that's through Square. So no matter what you do, your information is just gone. But it's trying to sustain a manageable level that you can at least cope with and deal with. And one of those things is not signing up for garbage. And I don't need to sign up for a 15% discount at an outlet shoe store that I'll use once a year, maybe twice a year, if that, just to save $7. My time is worth more than that. Anyway, there's so much digital clutter in the world now, and it's speeding up. It's like there's just this, I have this weight on me that's just digital, and it's from, you know, multiple cell phones filled with photos and videos from birthdays and vacations and everything. And I'm trying to not so much declutter, but I'm trying to organize that and put that into proper places with hard drives, etc. But like, that's just one piece. It's just there's so much stuff, and the constant emails and the subscriptions and everything. It's just, you have to shed this weight. Like, you have to just kind of melt off all of this digital clutter that surrounds you, and is just like just this heaviness on you. And every time I shed a little bit more, I just feel lighter. I feel a little freer, a little more nimble, and that is one scenario where you can do that. Would you like to give us all of your information, and in return we're going to give you $7? No. No, I don't want your $7. Keep your shit. I don't want it. Please do not get my information. I don't need any spam emails on shoe deals. Thank you very much. Anyway, what do you guys think of this? I want to hear if anybody agrees or disagrees. I'm not saying I'm right. I mean, I think it's like the old mean man in me is starting to come out. So, you know, is it me or is it us? Is it everybody or is it you? You know, like, I don't know. Anyway, I want to hear some thoughts. So if anybody has any comments, please, I would love to hear it. This is a fun topic if you want it to be. I don't want it to be this burden, so I'm trying to treat it as like a fun project that's just a constant thing and laughable. And here we are. Anyway, that's my rant for the day.